Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Keisha and this is KeshLives. So for today's video, I have something special for you. But first, if you haven't subscribed yet, don't forget to subscribe. Make sure you hit the notification bell so you don't miss any new content and engage with my content. You know, leave me a comment, let me know what you like and what you'd like to see on my channel. So for today's video, I'm gonna take you through, I guess we could call it a day in the life of a music producer. So I have a dear friend of mine I'm gonna introduce to you and he's gonna talk a bit about his experience as a music producer. So follow me. Okay, so we're here at makewaystudios and I'm here with my dear friend Olivier. So today he's gonna take us through the process of like a day in the life of a music producer. He's gonna tell us a little bit about what he does, how he got into it, and he's gonna give us a little treat at the end.
This is just the chilling area out there. The soundboard where the engineer and producers and sometimes the artists work. Then out here, that's where the recording is done. As you can see, the artist, whoever it is, comes out here and he or she records, and it's all voice isolated. And you see that you could feel the difference too from coming inside here and being outside where the magic happens. So this area right here is just another chilling area where people could just chill, have drinks, talk, play games. It depends on what you do or what you're into. So yeah, welcome.
So tell us a little bit about yourself. Who is IAMOPB?
IAMOPB is a Montreal producer that likes to push the boundaries of sound. I go from gospel to afrobeats to even hip hop and EDM. And that's what I've been doing.
Wait. Tell us, what's EDM?
Electronic dance music.
Oh, okay. Okay, that's cool. Good to you.
It's you.
Thank you so much for inviting me to your music session. You know, I'm really excited to see you at work. Like, for those who don't know, I've known Olivier since
high school. It's way back.
Yeah, I've known him since high school, so like maybe around 15 years or so.
Yeah.
And we used to, like, I think what made us really good friends is that we used to always talk about music.
Yeah.
Like a lot of artists that I like or that I've liked over the years, like Olivier was the one who introduced me to them. He'd always send me their new CDs, like their new tracks. So that's where we always bonded over music. So now it's really nice after all these years to see you like really into music production yourself. So yeah, what about you tell us a little bit more about what role music has played in your life over the years?
Well, first of all, thank you for for coming through. And the role that music has played in my life has been amazing. With music, I was able to learn English. With music, I was able to also communicate with my friends, like through basketball. And it has really helped me a lot, just like to see how it could impact your life positively.
Yeah, that's true. I really agree, because I feel like music is really an outlet to express yourself and just, you know, get to know new things. You can learn a lot of, like you said, learning languages too. So it's really, yeah, it's cool. So tell us a little bit more, like, how did you get into music production?
So it goes way back to high school with a group called Black Gloves.
Okay.
At the time, I was more of like on the artist side, so like rapping and all that stuff. You know, like high school days, people all like Lil Wayne, you want to be Lil Wayne. So yeah, so I was more on that side of things. Okay. But I was always fascinated on how, like, because one of the guys that was doing everything for us, his name is Elonski.
Okay.
He was like one of the main guys, like doing the videos, doing the production. So I was always fascinated by the way he was producing stuff. So by the way he was like, oh, let's get these people together and like let's make a song. So years following that, like once I went to the US, while playing basketball, I was with some people that also like wanted to record and all that stuff. So I had to, you know, relearn and then rethink about how he used to do it. And then also like add a little bit of knowledge that I already had. So fast forward to the end of like university, that's when it got a little bit bigger, because I took the time and everything, and then I got my first placement, and then from there, you know, I'm here.
Yeah, that's really cool. And like I'm just laughing because I'm remembering when we were in high school, and like even after high school, you were so obsessed with Lil Wayne. So like when you said it, I'm just like, so many memories. And
Lil Wayne's the GOAT, by the way.
Okay, sure, if you say so. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so can you tell us more, like what's a placement?
So a placement is basically, it's an opportunity.
Okay.
So my first opportunity came with IAMOPB, which is an artist from London.
Okay.
Well, Manchester. And basically she was looking for beats, and at the time I had like a messed up computer.
Okay.
And I was using GarageBand and everything. But like I was saying, like with my time with Elon and what I learned was you have to be efficient with what you have. So long story short, she was asking for beats, but at the time she was getting the same type of beats, I'm guessing. So I sent her stuff that were different. So it was like a mix of R&B and little bit of hip hop, but more like on the mellow side of things. And then she liked it, and cool. She like not even like a day after, maybe like a few hours after, she had done like a IG live, and it was up, and I was like, oh, like this is what I just sent. Yeah. And then from there, like I remember hitting up the homies like, yo, I don't know, like this is, this is big. Yeah. And then from there we got the paperwork right, and then it was out. So can you tell us a little bit more about like how you choose the artists that you work with, or like some tips for someone who's trying to decide where they want to go in terms of artists? Basically, I'll say it depends on where you're at in your production. Also, for me personally, choosing the artist is like there's like a 50-50 balance. Okay. Because sometimes like there's some artists that I want to work with, but their message is not something that I felt comfortable with. Basically, it's discernment. You kind of like trying to figure out like what this artist is about and how they move. Like right now, music is more than music. I'll give a little shout out to my project. So my project is called Inner City Gospel, and basically I'm trying to add like the inner city part of like this city and cities around the world with gospel music. But it won't necessarily sound like the traditional gospel music that you're used to. It would be like a blend. I'm not gonna lie, there's a lot of gospel songs that are really good. Yeah. But then there's a lot of gospel songs like, for me, it's hard to get into. So it's just like, if I like this type of sound and I have this type of topics, I could blend the two together and make it enjoyable for everyone. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Because what I like about like from your music that I've heard so far, I like that there's that gospel touch, but we're still able to connect it with more, let's say, contemporary music or modern music. Yeah. So tell us a little bit more about, like, since you mentioned that you make gospel music, tell us a little bit about the challenge of making it appealing to different types of people. I'm not gonna lie, it is very challenging. But the main thing that going about the process for me initially is just, first of all, I pray about it just to have like guidance. And then after that, like, I listen to different type of music that's already out, depending on the style that I want to make. And if I want to speak specifically with on my project, so basically my project, I curated the sound of it based on the artist that I'm working with. Okay. So if they already have, like, let's say I have an artist that I'm working with that does afrobeat. So the song that he's gonna be on my album is gonna be afrobeat, but the content will be more on the gospel side, but through his lens. Okay. So that's where I'm able to bridge the gap between gospel music or my music and their music. By the way, for those of you who don't know his music, I'm gonna put the information in the description so you can check it out. And if you paid attention in the beginning of my video, he's the one who produced the music in my intro. So if you didn't hear it, you can go back and listen to it. So tell us, like, how did you learn the skill and how long did it take you? I'll say it took me about like 2-3 years. Okay. But like I had said earlier, I had background knowledge of it with things that didn't have a lot to do with it. Like I was just doing random recordings, and also for projects for school, I used to use it too. So through YouTube videos and just trial and error. So I'll say that's the process for me, trial and error, and then I'll send them not to artists, but I'll send it to like my brother and stuff. And it will be motivating when he would tell me, oh no, that's not it, or that's trash. So I'm like, nah, you have to like it. Yeah. So I tried to like make more beats, and it worked out. So speaking on that topic, like what advice can you give someone who's trying to learn the skill? Well, I'll say keep going. Not to quit whenever people don't like what you're producing or what you're making, just to keep at it. It's easy to either you make one beat and then it goes and then you think you made it, or it could also be on the other side. You always make beats, but you think that no one likes it and you're not good. But there's always gonna be that one person that's gonna like it, and then from there, it could build your confidence up. But I'll just say, to build your confidence up is to always be prepared, be ready.
Tell us more about like specific resources or like programs or anything someone can use while they're learning.
Well, there's different schools out there that if you want to go the school route, there's different schools that like out here. I think Concordia has a music program or something. But let's say if you're self-taught, that's the one that I know a little bit more. Depending on the program that you use, like the program that you use to produce, just go on YouTube. You know, everything's on YouTube nowadays. Go on YouTube, write the tutorial, and as you see in the tutorial, go through it. You don't necessarily have to do the same thing that the person is doing. It's just to, give yourself some type of like guideline and practice to, okay, this does that, this does this, and then the more you will watch the tutorials, you'll understand that, okay, like this is how I want to incorporate this into how I want to do it.
So for those of you who are very visual, I want you to now see IAMOPB at work. So tell us a little bit about the background work that goes into a track, and maybe you can show us live how it kind of goes.
Yeah. So first I start with the drums, and actually no, let me backtrack because it depends on the artist. So what does the artist want, like sound wise? I like to have a conversation with the artist just to figure out like what they want and everything, and from there put the main melody, and then there's a certain section of that main melody that I just loop just to hear what I could add to it. From there I add little additions like here, right, left, depending on the artist, and then from there, the song is made. But it's a process that looks like stairs. So drums, melody, additions, and all that makes like the song.
Okay, so why don't you show us a little bit how it goes?
Due to technical difficulties in the recording process, the original audio of me explaining the breakdown of 1:15 a.m. by Tagans featuring Michelle didn't work out, so I'm now doing a voiceover to explain the process. Okay, so I started this beat with the drums. Like 99.9% of my beats, I start with the drums just because I'm just more comfortable doing it this way. So for this beat, I started with the rim shot and the hi-hat simultaneously. So I'll just show you the hi-hat just so you could hear or like feel that Afrobeat rhythm that I had in mind going through the creation process. So as you can see, the hi-hat just gives a little bounce to it, just a little bounce to it to let you know where this beat is heading at. And then on the other part, once I play the rim shot, when the rim shot plays, it replaces the clap, and then it just gives it another tone. Just it adds more flavor and all that good stuff to the beat. So once you hear that, like with the hi-hat, you kind of know where things are going with this beat. And right after, I added the kick. So the kick, that's where like, things get really started. Like at this point, I could say, oh, this beat is basically over. But for texture purposes, I need to add other stuff. But at this point, like I already know where things are heading at. So after that, I added a conga, and it's very subtle, and it's just to really fit the Afrobeat vibe of the song. It was, like I said, I was talking about texture. That's part of adding a little bit of texture because it's really very, very subtle. You can hear it. I'll play it all alone so you can hear it, and then I'll play it within the actual creation so you can see like it's very subtle, but it's necessary because it adds to the beat. I added also other texture elements such as other hi-hats and another rim shot. which I will play individually so you could kind of hear, and then I'll play as a group so you could hear how everything just adds up to what I actually wanted it to sound like for the final, the final product. Then if we also move into the, like, for transition purposes, I added a drum roll with a crash. The drum roll with the crash is basically so the artist knows, like, okay, this section goes to that section, and yeah, it's very simple. It's for transition purposes. So now we could get into the main melody, which was made with Rhodes, and the main melody really sets the vibe for everything with the drums. And I added a guitar chop, the bass, and a West Coast synth, just so it adds that mellow mood to it with the original idea that I had, while making it a little bit different because I just wanted things to be different than how, like, the typical Afrobeat sounds would be like. So I added a little bit of, like, West Coast sounds and just sounds here and there just to make it more smooth. And the final product came out as 115 by Taygans featuring Michelle.
Alright guys, so that's all for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much, Olivier, for sharing all these tips, all these tricks, and just giving us a bit of an insight as to what goes into music production. Like I said, I'm going to put all the information in the description so you can check out IAMOPB's music, everything that he's working on, and that you can also support him and encourage him. And yeah, do you have any final words, anything else you want to tell us? Or what do you want someone who's watching this video to go home with?
My final words would just be, first of all, thank you to you for this opportunity. Sure. And also for anyone that's getting into music production, just to keep working, keep at it. It doesn't happen overnight, so just keep at it and learn the little things. Trial and error. Eventually you will be wherever you want to be. There's the sky's the limit.
Oh, that's very nice. Thank you. That's it, guys. Bye.